Hello and welcome to day 2 of our pelvic care challenge. Today we're going to be working on isolating the different parts of our pelvic floor. You can sit. This is also one of the more easy ones where it doesn't matter too much how you're sitting, but you do want to make sure that your sitting bones are grounded. So if you are sitting in the back of your chair and you feel like your pelvis is tilting in different ways because your feet are not able to be grounded, if you're able to, you can bring your legs up, sit cross-legged the way you would do it on the floor. But if you do not have that flexibility, all you need to do is scooch a little forward, make sure you feel like your hips are nice and grounded, your feet are flat, and let your spine be tall. So finding whatever variation is going to work best for your body. Roll the shoulders back, lift your spine up nice and tall. You can either have your eyes open or soft and closed. You're going to take a nice deep breath in, expanding all that 3 layers that we did yesterday into the lungs, into the belly, your pelvis, filling that top of the balloon, your pelvic floor. Let everything soften. So we're going to work with our breath here. I mentioned yesterday that our relationship between our diaphragm and pelvic floor is really important, and this includes when we're trying to activate our muscles of our pelvic floor. We want to work with that relationship. So we want to contract on our exhale, which can be counterintuitive for a lot of people. A lot of workouts we do, we will relax on exhales, especially in the yoga world. Generally in personal training, you do tend to do the work on the exhale, whereas in yoga, there's a lot of like relax on the exhale. So it can be a little confusing if you're more of a yoga person. But that's what we're doing. We're contracting with our exhale. So we're gonna inhale. Think of that expansion we spoke of yesterday, that big balloon that fills our lungs, our belly, into the hips and the very top of our pelvic floor, right where that external genitalia is, letting that expand and open. And then as we exhale, that's where we're going to contract. We're going to focus on different areas to start to isolate it. So if you have a female pelvis, you're going to be focusing, I'll guide us through it all, first around the anal opening. This is for both the male and the female pelvis. For female pelvis, we'll then go around the vaginal opening and then the urethra. For the male pelvis, again, starting with the anal opening, then you're going to go to that space between your anal opening and the scrotum. That's where you want to focus on. And then you're going to be, again, focusing around the urethral opening. It might feel a little different, but it's the same concept. I'm going to use the terminology for the female pelvis. I'm going to say, the anal opening, vaginal opening, and then urethral opening. So just for those with male pelvises, just know that vaginal opening for you is going to be the space between your anal opening and the scrotum. Almost like just behind the scrotum thing, but lifting that area. So let yourself settle in, take a nice deep breath, let that space expand at the top of your balloon, the space that's between the sitting bones, the bones you sit on, your pubis bone and your tailbone, letting that open up, the top of the balloon expand. And as you exhale, gently contract the muscles around your anal opening. Inhale, let the muscles, especially around that anal opening, expand. And then as you exhale, just gently contracting them. We're going to inhale, let everything soften, and we're going to shift our awareness forward to the muscles around the vaginal opening. For everyone, this area of focus is a little less of an intense contraction. It isn't a sphincter. The muscles around the anals are a sphincter, very strong muscle, so it feels more intense. So this is going to be more subtle in nature as well. It's easier for us to connect with that anal opening. So give yourself patience, give yourself time. Even if it's more subtle, practice is what's going to help improve that. So bringing your awareness that space around that vaginal opening, letting it inhale, expand, open, stretching out the top of that balloon. As you exhale, just gently hugging the muscles around this area. Inhale, softening and opening. Even letting your belly soften. Exhale, gently contracting and hugging those muscles around your vaginal opening. Inhale, soften, letting it go. Again, shifting our awareness forward, we're coming to the urethral opening. This is where urine or pee comes out of. So it's much more forward. This is also the next layer of our pelvic floor. This is a little bit deeper. There's 3 layers. What we just did, those 2 other areas of focus are the most superficial layer. This is the next one. So inhale, expanding around that area, almost like you're letting yourself, when you go to the bathroom and you really have to pee, that relaxation. That's what we're letting happen here. And then as you exhale, gently hug the muscles around the urethra. For example, when you really have to go to the bathroom, but you're not in the bathroom yet, where you contract and hold there. To be feeling more forward. You also might feel a bit more disconnected here. And you also might feel like you're contracting everywhere. That's fine. Inhale, let everything soften. Practice is what's going to help you isolate these areas. Again, as we exhale, gently contracting around the urethra, like you're trying to hold it in when you really have to pee. Inhale, let it soften. And now we're going to let ourselves focus on all 3 areas, contracting all of them together. Again, you may have felt like you were contracting everything together throughout the entire practice. That's totally fine. That's very normal. These are very closely interconnected. Think about people who play guitar, right? For the most of us who do not play guitar, when we can't really isolate our fingers really well, or piano, we get very overwhelmed with it. It's confusing because these muscles are super interconnected, and quite honestly, for the most part, it's one muscle. Whereas if you practice and you play guitar on a daily basis or piano, you start to have really amazing dexterity in your fingers. You can do the same thing with your pelvic floor. Maybe not play piano or guitar, but you can improve that independent contraction the same way that musicians can with their fingers. So coming through, we're gonna do 3 contractions of all 3 layers. So let yourself inhale, fill up your lungs, your belly, your hips, even to the top of that balloon. Let all those openings expand. And then as you exhale, gently contract around that anal opening, vaginal opening, urethral opening, almost letting yourself feel that lift, like you're lifting up towards your navel with this. Inhale, let it all soften, relax. Exhale, all 3 openings, anal, vaginal, urethral, contract with a lift. Inhale, soften, let it go. One more time, exhale, contracting around the muscles around the anal, the vaginal, and urethral opening with that lift. And inhale, relax. Take a few breaths, just letting everything stay soft, stay relaxed. It's really important to play with that full range of motion. Let it fully relax. The same way you would work out any other muscle in the body, you want to make sure you're going through a full range of motion, not just staying somewhere short. So really let yourself breathe, stretch it out. Make sure you understand this and yesterday's video as we go into the next one, because having a good concept of what we did today and yesterday is going to help you with tomorrow's challenge. Well, thank you for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them. If you want it to be private, you can also message me directly, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.